Good day. Um, Today I am the driver of this session and I'm with my navigator Sibu.
Hey guys,
Cool, let's jump into it. So, lesson 9 is what I'm going to be discussing today. Um, so, in lesson 9, basically was just using routing in Express.Js. So, creating routings and how to handle those URL routes using Express. So, first just jump into this function here, app.use. Um, Basically here, best way I can describe it is like use is basically a middleware function. So how it works is when a user accesses a specific link, right, or URL link, this use function is basically automatically called. Within it, there's this callback function, which obviously has the request as a parameter. Uh, but when this use function is called, what happens is this callback function is called and console.log basically logs request made to whatever that URL is that you're accessing or making the request to. Um, so that's basically what it logs after the request is made. Then after that, this next function called next is basically called, and what this ensures is that when this middleware is done being processed, it jumps to the next middleware, right, which is this one. And this middleware function is basically just preventing routing errors using URL encoded. Then it goes to the next function, which just passes data as a JSON format, so it's readable. Then we basically have this here, app.get, which is a get request route. Basically here how it works is when the user accesses items, this item's URL, a get request is basically sent to the server. Um, so when that server gets that request, what happens as well is we basically have this over here, um, rec params. This variable basically, this way I can describe it is, um, let's see. So over here, right, part of this URL is this over here, this semicolon, or let me say this colon vegetable. This basically is like a route parameter. So it stores the value um, that we want to see in the front end, right? And over here, this variable with rec params vegetable is basically the param. So whatever word is within vegetable is passed over here, right? And it stores that in this variable veg, right? So that's what happens when the request is made. Then, in order to retrieve the response, the server sends the response in the string. This page is for then whatever vegetable this reg params holds is basically displayed in the front end. So that's what this get route is basically doing in this situation. So, like, because of this callback function as well, um, the request is made and the response is also done. So, how that basically works in the front end. So, if I run my server, if I say items spinach, right, what happens is this response is given. Reason why is because as soon as I access this URL, a get request was made to the server. And that server basically what happens is the 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 value is stored within vegetable, so automatically stored in this request param over here. and then it's passed to the front end in this because of that variable over there, and then that response is shown over here in the front end basically. So that's how that works. And then same with this is a get request being made when we access the home page, and then the welcome message is shown. So as you can see here, there's a welcome message. Then this is for post request, simply when making a post request to the home page. As soon as that request is made, what happens is console.log basically just logs rec.body. The body is basically let's see. Well, it logs the body and also the query as well. And as soon as it does that, basically what happens is a response is then sent, which says that the post was successful. Then moving on, what I further did afterwards is basically added more code now, but to a different folder, serve.html. Within serve.html, I have another folder which is controllers. So basically here, the main goal was to use the MVC process, which is model, value, and controllers. So I created a controllers folder with a controller with the home controller.js file, right? Within it here, I have basically these functions that basically handle my routings, and all my routings obviously are set here, right? Here are the routings basically that are made. So these handle the routings in here. So basically here, this is basically for it's handling the get request route, and you can see basically stores the value in here, and we have this callback function where that request is made, and then the response is basically passed to the front end, and it says this is the page for whatever vegetable that is. And yeah, that happens when we basically access this URL specifically. So let's run the server. So to see that it works, as soon as I access this specific URL, then it shows in the front end, this is the page for carry. So yeah, that's the response it gives after that. Then this is basically for my post request, so it handles my post request, and it displays that the post was successful. I went ahead to create another function which handles a get and post request for signing up or creating a new account in the front end. So over here, basically, I have user sign up processor, which basically is handling my sign up process. Let me say route. So when that request is made, right? So over here, I have my get request, right, for signing up that I created. As soon as a user accesses this link, the get request is sent to the server. What happens is a response is given to the front end, which is this in this HTML, which gives you an option to sign up, to basically fill in a username, password, email, and then create, or basically sign up after that. That's the response that is passed to the front end. And that's what this handles. It handles that, and what it also handles is this post request route, which is basically for signing up, so adding your email and all of that, and pressing submit, and then that post request is made to the server, and then the server basically returns a specific response. The response that the server returns is this response over here. Welcome, whatever username you put, so welcome Tom, your sign up was successful. But before it passes that response to the front end, it basically console basically logs the user sign up details, the username and the email that I've inputted when I was making the post request to the server. Then after that, it displays the response over there. So essentially, let's see. Let's do this. Because my server's running, I can just let me access the sign up this form basically by making a get request, right? So as soon as I put sign up, now I sent a get request to the server and it has returned this, right? And now I can fill in my details over here. And once I fill in those details, this response, I made a post request to the server and a response was given, which is a welcome message. So that's basically what my home controller is doing. It is handling my routing within it's handling the routings that are set in my main.js over here. So yeah, that's basically chapter 9 or lesson 9 of using Express and routings for my app.